Here. Well, my friends, have I got a story for you today. But for this to make any sense, we have to go back to the end of June 2023. Around that time, I was primarily focused on Warzone 2, making videos, occasionally streaming, but I was about to go on holiday to relax and indulge, but also think about my future. I was fully aware that my prime days of being a Call of Duty content creator were most likely behind me. I'd had some unforgettable years, but I felt like I was just going through the motions now. Not progressing, not thriving, just doing. So I was open to the idea of a new venture. Before I hopped on that plane to wind down and reflect on life, I got a private message from someone pretty high up in FaZe Clan saying, "Yo, it's been a while, I'm working on some things with FaZe, and as an OG in the scene, I'd love to get your view on it." So we set up a call. If you weren't aware, I've been doing this Call of Duty sniping thing since 2007. I've built up quite a reputation in this community after creating thousands of sniping videos, a bunch of memorable montages, and just being pretty consistent in terms of skill across so many Call of Duty titles. So we had a quick catch up to start things off. It had been a while, but then we got down to business. I'd not been involved with a clan or an org since Optic back in 2019, and the conversation reminded me of just how much I loved working behind the scenes of a team. I then hear the words, "We're looking to bring back FaZe Clan sniping." Yeah. I was probably as shocked as you are. At that point in time, FaZe hadn't really done Call of Duty sniping videos in over 4 years. They had individual members that made that kind of content, and sometimes FaZe would post their clips on socials, but you'd never see that on their YouTube channel. They had diversified and excelled in so many other areas of gaming and entertainment. So it's fair to say that FaZe returning to sniping videos was not on my 2023 bingo card. So after sharing their ideas, I was asked a few questions. What were my thoughts? Do I think it's achievable? And is there an audience ready for this? What I'd observed in recent years is that with any sort of announcement from FaZe, there was a lot of positivity, but a good chunk of negativity alongside it. And a lot of that stemmed from FaZe moving further away from their original core audience, their quote-unquote roots. My words were, well, if that many people cared when you're not posting Call of Duty, surely that passion would carry over to if you did. And I think they appreciated hearing that. So I shared more of my positive thoughts, paired with a few of my concerns, and I thought my job was done. But at the end of the call, I was asked one final question. If we went ahead with this, would you like to join FaZe again and lead the charge? We would have seen that one coming, eh? I was given some time to think. I didn't need to provide an answer right there and then, but if I'm being honest with you all, my gut was telling me no. To give you a little backstory, I'd already been a part of FaZe from 2011 to 2017, and in that time, we created some unforgettable memories. I was the first sniper ever to join FaZe, and alongside others that followed, helped turn FaZe from a clan only known for trickshotting to the biggest sniping and trickshotting team in Call of Duty history. Through releases like Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, we truly created something special that so many people aspired to be a part of. But my reservations for joining it again weren't because of those moments, but of my final year at FaZe. I wasn't always just a member of the team. As of July 2016, I became their content leader. I was now in charge of planning, producing, and scheduling all of the videos to the FaZe YouTube channel. Why was I given that role? Well, the channel had become almost dormant during what I would say is one of the best Call of Duty years we've ever had with Black Ops 3. And I hated that. We had wasted almost the full year. And so, because I was so passionate about the sniping scene and the clan itself, I offered to take control. In the months that followed, I helped revive the FaZe channel to hype, views, and consistency that it hadn't seen in a long time. We were smashing it. But sadly, I just knew it wouldn't last. FaZe were running out of members that still played Call of Duty. Many had moved on, exploring other content and thriving with real-life videos. So we needed new recruits to continue this consistency. But it became obvious that I just didn't have the power to make that happen. After continually voicing my concerns, nothing changed, and as a team, we just ran out of steam. It was clear that my time there was done. After my departure, FaZe had a small stint in Call of Duty sniping content with the release of World War II, but once 2017 was over, that's pretty much all she wrote. Many of you will say that the decision to neglect Call of Duty and diversify their YouTube channel was for the better. And looking back, you're probably right. Transitioning into real-life videos and the newly released Fortnite was absolutely massive for the FaZe brand. But it was still a shame to see that from 2018 onwards, there was only a handful of Call of Duty videos uploaded to the channel. The FaZe we once knew was no more. Fast forward 5 years, it's July 2023, I'm traveling around Spain, pondering whether I want to join FaZe and do it all over again. I hesitated at first, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense to go for it. I was already in the process of looking for a new venture, so it just seemed like fate that this opportunity presented itself at the exact time of exploration. So after weighing up my options, my mind was made up. I was in. FaZe Spratt was back. We discussed strategy, the build-up, the announcement, the aftermath. Was I to work behind the scenes, or was I going to be the face of it? Was I just a leader, or would I contribute to videos too? I mean, I'm 30 years old now, but I'm still nice on the stick, so I wanted to get involved as much as I could. The main goal, though, was still to lead the content. The amount of creators in FaZe still making sniping videos was pretty slim, to be fair, so I was given the go-ahead to scout potential new recruits and research editors, and just brainstorm video ideas to run with off launch. Modern Warfare 3 was on the horizon, so our mission was to get things lined up to announce around the launch of its beta, which was about October time. It had been a rough few years for Call of Duty, and we had no idea if this game was going to be any different, but on paper, it had everything we were hoping for. We had a few months to get things in motion, but these things aren't as simple as they used to be. With orgs like FaZe, it's quite corporate now, so decisions need to be pitched and discussed and, signed off, so that delayed things for a while. But I was still working hard behind the scenes in preparation for when we get the go-ahead. Fast forward to early October. I had flown out to Los Angeles alongside a few hundred other creators to participate in the Call of Duty Next event. I was getting hands-on with Warzone 3 and Modern Warfare 3 early. And guess what was nearby to the hotel I was staying at? The FaZe warehouse. I had to be pretty sneaky to slip away and make the trip out there without anybody knowing or even seeing. We just didn't want any leaks of this, not even a whiff of what we were planning. I think I got away with it. At the headquarters, I met a bunch of the team, got a tour of the offices, but then we got down to business. We filmed an interview, running through a variety of questions that could be used as content later down the line. Some of my answers were planned to be used as sound bites in the announcement video. We had such a sick concept for it. We recorded some other short form content, took a few photos for socials, and I was on my way. The next day, I played Modern Warfare 3 early, and honestly, it felt like it was the best Call of Duty multiplayer experience we'd had in years. At that point in time, I'd moved over to Warzone. I was completely done with multiplayer. So that was saying something. It just felt like everything was lining up perfectly. We finally got the go-ahead for the FaZe Sniping team. We weren't ready to announce in time for the Modern Warfare 3 beta, which messed with our vision slightly, but it was fine. We still had 3 to 4 weeks to work on the announcement, ready for the full game launch in November. There was a lot to do though. Work on a massive return team Taj with all the best sniping clips that FaZe hadn't used from its members since Modern Warfare 2019. We had to plan the introducing montages for myself and a few other secret FaZe recruits, which I wonder if you can guess who they were. But the priority though was the announcement video. It involved a full FaZe Sniping roster reveal, interview quotes, throwback moments, a bunch of insane clips. It had it all. It was the kind of video that gave you goosebumps. I worked closely with the editors on this, right? I was providing ideas and feedback and examples, and they were smashing it, and we just seemed to click. I even helped a little bit on the Modern Warfare 3 beta team Taj that FaZe put out. Nobody had a clue I was even involved. The community was mind blown when that video dropped. We just felt like it was a taste of what was to come without actually revealing our plans to the fans. At this point, I truly felt like I was doing a role that I'd grown into as I became older. I was overseeing the operation, I was pushing ideas, I was giving feedback on their execution. I was helping manage the process, using all that experience and knowledge I'd gained over the years, but on someone else's craftsmanship. That was it. I'd found my next step. It had been a few weeks and the announcement video was finished. It was perfect. We were ready to go live and fully do this thing. FaZe Clan Sniping was about to be back after so many years of the community waiting, hoping and wishing. But then something unexpected happened. FaZe Clan was bought. When I saw the news drop, I didn't know whether to be worried or excited. This kind of takeover doesn't happen overnight, so I knew we had some time to decide the next steps. It's all been signed off, it's ready to go. We can launch FaZe Sniping right now. Do we do it and pray that it'll be in line with the vision of the new owners, or do we wait in hopes to get the full backing of everybody who becomes in charge? I thought the only time we had to worry about was announcing before the launch of Modern Warfare 3. But I was wrong. In the coming weeks, the team, the staff, the great minds I've been working with on this revival were fired. Almost everyone I had communications with at FaZe, bar a few, were gone. I felt for them. I really did, but now what was I to do? I was in limbo. I'd worked months in silence, in secret, to rebuild and launch probably one of the biggest shocks to the Call of Duty sniping scene, and at that moment in time, it felt like it was for nothing. There was not a single thing I could do but wait. I put my feelings to the side and locked in for the launch of Modern Warfare 3. And to my surprise, I really enjoyed the game, which I never thought I'd say again. And what was crazy is that multiplayer was popping. Sniping was thriving. We saw the revival of trick shotting. I mean, what was going on? Other old school clans reformed. The nostalgia was absolutely flowing. It was amazing to see. On the surface, I was happy, but deep down, I was defeated. knowing what could have been. Maybe it wouldn't have succeeded. Maybe it would have been short-lived. Maybe it was too good to be true. But even with all those outcomes, I'm just happy I said yes and just gave it my all. If I had declined the offer right at the start, I probably would have saved myself a lot of effort, a lot of late nights, a lot of heartache, but I would have always wondered, what if? At the time I'm recording this, it's the start of February 2024, and it's been pretty much 3 months since I've heard anything from anybody at FaZe Clan. I have zero knowledge of when this full acquisition goes down. Maybe the takeover has already happened, but if there's a slim chance that the new owners of FaZe, or the OGs that are still left in the team, have the same vision of me as reviving the sniping team, you know where I am. But if I'm being completely honest with you all watching, I think that ship has sailed. It just wasn't meant to be. The return of FaZe Spratt, the return of FaZe Sniping was happening until it wasn't. And that's okay. For me, it wasn't for nothing. I learned a lot about myself during this journey. What I'm good at, what I enjoy, what I care about. I thought I was all out of passion for this space, this weird and wonderful world I'm a part of, but I was wrong. It's still there. It just needs to be put to use a little bit differently. For now though, I think it's time for me to hop off this rocky roller coaster and try and find the next ride. I appreciate all of you watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.